Hello everyone, and happy Halloween. Welcome to the channel. Instead of my usual gaming video, I decided to do a vlog since a lot of my family's been asking some questions. So I thought I'd try to answer some things here, so this is mostly for family and friends. But either way, if you're new here, welcome. Hi, hello. So for most of you that don't know, I want to get this out of the way first. I did have eye surgery because I had really bad cataracts this past year, and had the surgery about a month and a half ago. And everything seems fine. It seems stable. Everything, not having a whole lot of problems. I was really worried that with as bad as my eye was, that we're going to have some issues with like retinal detachment, or as my doctor was saying, I'm also high risk for cloudy cornea. But so far, not having any problems. There's been no pain. It's been working out pretty well. The new glasses have bifocals, and that's really driving me nuts. But got to deal with it. Hopefully, maybe before like this prescription runs out, maybe I'll try to get some new glasses without the bifocals for just doing stuff like this. But the really weird thing is that if I look, like it's dark out and I'm looking at like towards a light at a certain angle, like say a 45-degree angle, I tend to see like a reflection off of the new lens. It's really odd, and everything seems like I got. Uh, I'm already kind of sensitive to bright light anyway, and it just seems really worse. Well, not that bad, but like especially when I get up in the morning, everything just seems really bright. So yeah, I seem to be a little bit more light sensitive than usual. But in other news, everybody's been asking about my fiance, who I haven't really been talking about that much. But let's see. All right, let me back up a little bit. Many of you already know this, but back in 2008, my wife Carol died, and I was like in a really bad place at the time. But it was kind of a bad year anyway.
It'll fetch a nice
I
price.
had been playing a lot of games at the time anyway, and I ended up meeting her on a game actually, couple, like maybe a couple months after, and I actually met her grandmother first, and then I ended up meeting her because they both played the same game. And well, we got to talking for a little while, and kind of explained my situation, so she already kind of knew what was up with me, that that I was a widower. And for about 6 months, we got really close until eventually, like, the opportunity came up that I ended up moving out of Michigan and met up with her, who was living in Wisconsin at the time. And I came out, picked her up, and we ended up going out to Texas for a few months, and then moved out to Minnesota with a friend of mine, that somebody that I knew from when I lived back in Virginia. He was a really good friend and put up with our crap for a couple of years until he ended up meeting someone that moved in with him, and we had to move out, so we ended up moving back in with her parents back in Wisconsin. So we been living here for the past 6 years now with her family, and at the time it was her mother and father, and her grandmother on her mother's side. And well, that's kind of how it's been for a little while. We've been helping out around the house, doing things here and there, up until about last year when her grandmother suddenly died, just before Thanksgiving. And then her mother, who had been battling cancer for the last 3 years, which was really kind of a bad one, she had both Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is like really unusual. And it was just up and down. Like they thought it was going away, then it came back, and then it moved to a different place, and it was kind of terrible. She ended up passing away. Her mother ended up passing away right after Christmas, so that was just a bad year all around. And so it's just been me and her dad, and our 2 pets, which we had a dog and our cat. Which, by the way, the dog just passed away Saturday, so you can imagine how her dad's been holding up. But we were going to get married this past year, but of course things happened and we just didn't get around to it this year. A lot of people have been asking about, when are you guys getting married? When are you guys getting married? Well, we've been working on it. It just hasn't really happened. We just haven't really been able to get around to it. But hopefully we might be able to do it next year. 2018, nice even number. We'll see how that goes. But all in all, that's what's been going on with me. Guess if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask on like my Facebook account. And well, that's kind of about it. Guess I'm gonna wrap this up. Everybody take care, and always remember to check your pockets. Good advice. Signing off.
Sweet, sweet.